Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Joshika.
Ma'am, today the message was given as math, ma'am.
Yeah, but math sir is not available. That is the reason I thought let me take.
Okay.
Okay, so we will be revising the nutrition in animals topic. Is my screen visible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hmm. So here, when we talk about the nutrition in animal, it comes under the second category, which are the heterotrophic actually. So in the animals, we are the heterotrophic, and in the heterotrophic, we have discussed about the three types of it: parasitic, saprophytic, and halozoic. And we humans, we come under the holozoic category. That is why we will be discussing about the holozoic nutrition in this chapter. So holozoic nutrition is a type of the nutrition where animals, they will take in the solid food particles such as the fruit, vegetable, meat, and many. There are many solid food we take in. Such animals who consume basically or who take in basically the solid food, they are called as a holozoic nutrition. Five steps are there for the holozoic nutrition to occur. First, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion, they are the five steps. And these steps basically occur sequence by sequence only. Now starting with the amoeba. So amoeba also they also have amoeba also have holozoic nutrition. They also can take the solid particles. So nutrition in amoeba, talking about the amoeba, they are the unicellular organism. It means they are made up of only one cell. So through that one cell, they can do all function. Whatever the functions are required by the body, they can do. Like for example, they can excrete with that one cell. They can breathe by that one cell. They can digest the food by that one cell. So one cell is responsible for doing everything in them. So amoeba is a unicellular animal. It eats microscopic plants and animals that float in the water. So in the water, there will be microscopic plants and the animals. They will be eating them. The complete process is given below. First step in them is the ingestion. So an amoeba ingests food by using its pseudopodia. So amoeba will have the pseudopodia, like
Ma'am, like
finger-like projections.
finger-like projections.
Correct. So they will have this finger-like projection that is called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false. Podia means feet. So
False
pseudo,
feet.
yes, pseudopodia, pseudo false, podia feet. So false feet. Why they call it false feet? Because this structure looks like the feet, but actually they are not the feet. So when a food particles come near an amoeba, they will be ingesting the food particle by surrounding it with the pseudopodia. So you can see in this picture. So food is present here. Amoeba, what they are doing slowly and gradually, they are covering, they are surrounding the food here. This is what the ingestion. So in the first step, what do? They will be surrounding or they will be engulfing the food through the pseudopodia. The pseudopodia close to form a small cavity called as food vacuole. So as soon as they close that food, they surround that food, they will be forming a cavity that is called as food vacuole. Then it goes for the second step, which is a digestion, where the food is being digested in the food vacuole by the digestive enzyme. So in the amoeba also, they will have the few enzyme. They will be working on them and they will digest that food.
Ma'am,
After that, it
absorbed
goes,
by the
yeah,
cytoplasm, right?
yes, exactly. Exactly. Then it goes for the next process, which is the absorption, where the digested food present in the food vacuole is absorbed directly into the cytoplasm of amoeba by diffusion. So diffusion is basically a
Breaking down.
process.
Breaking down of food.
No, Aryan. Diffusion means basically exchange through the direct contact of the environment. So amoeba, they do not have any kind of the hands, legs, and all. So what do? Whatever they need, they will be directly using it in the body. That is what the diffusion process is. So we humans, we cannot do diffusion. If I want to eat something, I have to follow the method, right? From the mouth to the esophagus to the stomach and all. But amoeba, they do not do that. Directly, they will be taking the food and they will be using it. Okay?
Ma'am,
Okay, so only without breaking it down.
No, they will break it down because of the digestive enzymes, but they will use it directly then after breaking down.
ma'am,
So,
Yeah, tell
ma'am,
me,
what is
Umang.
the normal? Sorry,
ma'am. So pseudopodias are the moving parts of this amoeba, which help them to move, and they also form the food vacuole through which the food gets inside the amoeba.
Correct. Yes.
ma'am, my doubt is that
Hmm.
you said that for diffusion, the meaning is that after plants, what they do, they like break down the food and they directly eat it. Then what do us humans do, ma'am? How is that process of ours?
Amoeba, see, in humans, we do not do diffusion because diffusion, when we talk about it, is a very complex process in us. Let me actually share the other screen which will explain.
Ma'am, one
See,
second, ma'am, I'll just write down.
two
Ma'am, I
things
did
are
not
there. In
understand
fact, not two,
diffusion.
in three cases. Come again?
Ma'am, what's actually meant by diffusion?
I'm telling you that only in a clear way. See, diffusion, when we talk about, it is a movement of molecules. So whatever the molecules are there, their movement from high concentration to the low concentration. To the low concentration. I hope you remember, I think we did one activity where we have taken the perfume and then I asked you that perfume or the dew, you have to actually spray at one corner of the room, correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
So suppose these are the four walls we have. I asked you that you have to spray it here on one side, but automatically what happened? The fragrance of that will get transferred to the other part also. This is what the diffusion. So the molecule of that DO Once we spray at one corner, what happen automatically? The concentration at this side will become high. And when the concentration will become high, the molecules will start moving to the other area or the part of it. Do you think so? We can also do the same process? No. If I am taking the oxygen gas, I have a actually proper, the system and all who will be taking, who will be giving it to the other part. But if my body has to do the diffusion, then it becomes very complicated because our body is made up of many, many, many cells, right? So they will be giving it to one cell. Then after some time, they'll be giving to second cell. So like this, in many years, the air will be reaching to my lungs. Till then, I'll die. Correct? That is why diffusion is not possible in the case of us. But in the case of the amoeba, what happened? In the food vacuole, the digestive juices will be, the digestive enzyme will be there. There itself, they will break them down, and rather than, using the organ, because it does not have any organ, amoeba does not have any organ. So what do? Directly, they will release that food here in the cytoplasm.
Ma'am,
Okay?
we should write this now, or will you like show it later?
No need to write. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how it.
ma'am, I have two doubts, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, you said that diffusion is like in amobia, like amoeba,
Amoeba.
amoeba, yeah, amoeba.
Hmm.
So, ma'am, you said that in like for absorption, you said that the digested food is like diffused and directly given to the cytoplasm.
Correct.
But
Huh.
you said that diffusion means that the movement of molecules from a high concentrate level to a low concentrate level. So I'm just
Exactly.
trying to understand how is the what when you told about the breaking of the food particles in the amoeba, and how is it related to the diffusion meaning, ma'am?
See here how what happened. Both the cases are correlated. If I said like movement of the molecules from high to lower concentration. Now, if I take this food vacuole, what happened ultimately? They have the food, right? That food they have broken it down into several pieces and all. So what happened? As soon as they get the food, here the concentration will become high, and outside the concentration will become low.
Low.
Because of that reason, they start giving it outside. Got it now?
Ma'am, I got this, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I just have one last doubt.
Hmm.
If amoeba follows this way of breaking down food and using it for itself, then what does our human body follow? Like, is there anything which is it a complex way, or I'm not able to?
Only the complex way we have. That's what we have discussed, right? We have discussed that we have the mouth, we have the esophagus,
Oh,
then we
like the
have
alimentary canal. Oh,
yes, exactly. In the stomach we have the different enzymes. In the mouth we have different enzyme. Liver, pancreas have different juice and enzyme. So that is what the complicated structure we
oh, okay,
have.
ma'am. So we can consider ingestion, digestion, absorption, and assimilation, egestion as like the okay, ma'am. I got it. Sorry, I got it. I understood.
Yes,
I didn't know that
exactly. So
these
both
both are
are
correlated. Like,
no. Though both are correlated. The only difference is that in the case of the amoeba, they are unicellular. They are made up of one cell, but in spite of made up of one cell, they are doing each and every, functions of their thing. Whereas coming to the humans, we have trillions of cells. So in our trillions of cells, what happened? They have divided the work. See, if I have so many things, like for example, if I have any chocolate I have, can I eat it alone? I cannot eat it alone. At certain point I will be feeling like, it's not good for me. Then
yes, ma'am.
same way in the class also, what happened, many students will be there, but all students cannot be monitor. That is why the teacher, what do? They'll be making the monitor. Now monitor divides the work, that this work will be done, collection of copy will be done by the few children, the other thing will be done by the other children. Same way in our body, many cells are there. Those cells, what do? They divide their task. Why do they divide their task? If they do not divide their task, it becomes complex, right? Everybody wanted to do the simple work rather than going to the complicated thing. They will do the simple work. That is why, to make it easy, our body cells have divided their work so that there should be coordination among the organs in our body and coordination among the parts. That is how, when I am saying something, I can move my hands because they are supporting it. Got it, Arin?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
Joshika, are you clear with diffusion, or Himank?
Yes,
Chavi, Snehal, do you have any
yes,
doubt?
ma'am, I got it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, diffusions can be only performed in amoeba. It is not supported by humans.
No, we do not do that. We do not. If we wanted to do it, we have to, we have to survive without breathing for a long time then. Okay. Okay, going to the third one now, assimilation. Food absorbed by the amoeba is used to obtain energy for doing the life process. And last one, egestion. So when a sufficient amount of undigested food collects inside amoeba, then what do? They will be, so then cell
Secreting.
membrane will suddenly rupture at any place and the undigested food will be thrown out. See, amoeba, they are very simple structure. They do not have any organ, they do not have any part. When the food is broken down, they will be giving it to cytoplasm through diffusion. When they produce a undigested weight directly now through the cell membrane, they can release it. So that is what they do it in a very simple way. Now going to the next one is the
Um,
complicated one. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, in egestion, like the book, like which I studied, says that
Hmm.
undigested food gets stored
Hmm.
in a vacuole whose membrane fuses with the cell membrane, which ruptures to release the undigested food outside the body. Ma'am, this
Correct.
for me seems very hard to memorize. Like, can this be simplified? I can send you the photo if need.
Send me.
Okay, ma'am, just 1 minute. I'll be.
Okay, till then we'll go to the next one, nutrition amoeba. So in our humans, what do we also follow the Holozoic. The food ingested through the mouth will pass through the number of the organs. So many organs we will be passing it. The alimentary canal along with the digestive gland is known as the digestive system.
Ma'am, I sent.
Okay. Ha. So in the egestion gate is given undigested food gets stored in the vacuole. See, this is what? This is a vacuole only. What they're creating it after engulfing the food, they're creating the vacuole.
Ma'am, because
Now
the tips
that,
fuse together.
yes, that vacuole will have a layer. That membrane is nothing but it's a layer actually. Then that membrane will fuse with the cell membrane, or I'll just make an easy diagram. Suppose here, this is amoeba we have, okay? And this is the vacuole I have here. Now, what happened,
Yes.
as you know, amoeba does not have the fixed shape. They have irregular shape. So,
Yeah.
not fixed shape, which means. So, because of this, what happened? This vacuole, it goes near to the pseudopodia, or the other case is also there, where the pseudopodia wall can come in contact with the vacuole. And as soon as the pseudopodia wall come in contact with the vacuole wall, it gets rupture. It means rupture means it gets breakdown. And when it gets breakdown, what do? They release the undigested food out. Clear?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I
Hmm.
just have one doubt, ma'am. What if the wall of the like amoeba comes ma'am, contracts before like the food is undigested, like it's still
That's
in the
okay.
process. So what will happen then?
That's okay. Nothing will happen until they do not want, the function will not be happening. Once they
Okay,
are
so
ready, hmm,
okay, so only when they're undigested, the undigested food is in the food particle is in the food vacuum, then only
yes,
the wall of the amoeba can come down,
rupturing will be there.
will rupture the.
Yes,
Okay, got it.
yes. Then only the rupturing will be occurring. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here we have the digestive system starting with the mouth. So mouth, it is a transfer slit and also called as opening of the alimentary canal. It opens into the buccal cavity. Now, buccal cavity, mouth opens into cavity which contains teeth, tongue, salivary gland. Salivary gland is very important. Salivary gland, they produces the fluid called as saliva. This saliva contains the enzyme called as salivary amylase, and this salivary amylase, they work on the component called as starch, and they break down the starch into the sugar called as the maltose. This is very important part.
Ma'am,
Salivary
1 second,
gland,
ma'am. I'll just take a screenshot.
yeah, salivary gland produces the fluid called as saliva. Saliva contains the enzyme called as salivary amylase. This salivary amylase, they work on the starch and they break down the starch into the sugar called as the maltose. Oh, it has gone.
No, ma'am, it's fine. I sent the screenshot in the Zoom chat too.
Okay, so that is how it will be. It will be working. Now, this is how it is given here. Salivary glands, they produces the saliva which contains salivary amylase enzyme. And this enzyme, they will convert the starch into the simple sugar. And most of the book, they have not given the name, but you can write the name of the sugar as a maltose. After the teeth, they are the hard structure. They held in the socket of the jaw. So we have the jaw, upper and the lower jaw. Teeth cut, chew, and break food into the smaller pieces. Then tongue. Tongue is the organ which is used for the taste. It contains taste buds so that we can identify what type of the food it is, whether it is sweet, sour, bitter, or any kind of thing. It also helps in the rolling and pushing of the food into the pharynx. So this is the main function of the tongue, to roll the food and to mix the food with the saliva. And after that, they will be pushing it to the next part of it, which is the esophagus. It mixes
Ma'am,
the saliva. Tell me.
sorry, ma'am, you can continue. I'll ask you later after
Huh.
the explaining.
Okay, it mixes the saliva with the food and also helps us in speaking. So I am able to talk to you, I am able to speak to you because of this tongue only. If I do not have tongue, I cannot speak.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Aaron, tell me.
Ma'am, could you please explain buccal cavity once more?
Buccal cavity is basically the mouth which open into the cavity. So the mouth we have internally to the mouth, inner part of the mouth, whatever is included, that is the buccal cavity.
So, ma'am, buccal cavity is like the consists of the mouth, teeth, and tongue completely, right?
Mouth is basically outer part they're talking about. It does not include the lips and all. Okay, the internal part, which is the teeth, the saliva, and the tongue, which is the internally, that is in the buccal cavity.
So, ma'am, what's the difference between buccal cavity and mouth? If you're saying that mouth is like outside the like a complete buccal cavity, then what can we consider as mouth? Like if we are looking at it.
Mouth is basically the lips actually.
Okay, okay, fine.
The part which is present outside, which includes the lip, that is the mouth. Okay, which we open. And the
Okay,
internally to that are the buccal cavity, which include the teeth, tongue, and the salivary glands.
okay, got it.
Okay, after this, now it goes to the esophagus. Esophagus is the connecting tube between the mouth and the stomach. The food will be then pushed down to the stomach by the movement of the muscle of the food pipe. So what happens? See, this is a food pipe. Now this food pipe, which is the esophagus, it is basically made up of the muscular wall. Now keep in mind, if anything is made up of the muscular wall, they can do the special work that is the contraction and the relaxation. It means they can contract their wall and they can relax their wall. Now, if I say contract means they can expand. Suppose this is a tube, they can contract like this. And then again, they can come to the normal position. So by doing so, what happened? Continuously contracting, continuously relaxing, contracting, relaxing. What happened? Automatically, the food will go down to the next part, which is called as a stomach. And this such kind of the movement in them, it is called as peristalsis. So in the process of the peristalsis, it is the movement of the food to the stomach because of the contraction and relaxation of the muscular wall of the esophagus. So since continuously the wall of the esophagus contract and relax, because of which the food will be pushed down to the stomach. Now in the stomach, it is a J-shaped bag-like structure made up of the muscle. The stomach will produce the gastric juice, and this gastric juice will have the three components. So gastric juice will be produced. This will have the hydrochloric acid. They will also have the mucus, and they will also have the enzyme called
Pepsin.
as pepsin. So these are the things which are present in the gastric juice. See, what happened? Different book has a different thing. Now, some book has directly the pepsin, but in some of the book, it is given as pepsinogen. So pepsinogen, when we talk about the word pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is basically inactive form of the enzyme. Okay. So any enzyme where the word ends by nogen, it means inactive form of it. Now, if I say inactive form, we have to make it active, right? So that it can work. Now, when this pepsinogen, which is the inactive form, when they come in contact with the hydrochloric acid, they become active and they get converted themselves into the pepsin. Clear?
Ma'am, so pepsinogen plus hydrochloric HCl equals to pepsin, right?
Correct. It means when pepsinogen reacts with the hydrochloric acid, it makes the pepsinogen in the active form, or it converts the pepsinogen into active form called as a pepsin. Now, this pepsin basically will do the function because pepsinogen cannot do anything because it is the inactive form of it. It is like, if your mother and father are not saying anything to you, you will not be studying, right? But as soon as your mother shouts, what happened? That shout is like hydrochloric acid. So that shout, when it comes to you, you as an inactive form become activated. Same way, the pepsinogen, it is inactive form, but when it comes in contact with the hydrochloric acid, it becomes activated and can start converting protein into the proteases and peptides. Clear?
Got it, ma'am.
Yes, Charvi, Snehal, Arya, Arav, Joshika, any doubt?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, no doubts.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Himank,
Ma'am, peristalsis is also known as peristaltic movements. Like,
correct. Yes,
Ma'am,
yes,
I
yes.
have a
Both are
doubt.
same. Tell me, Arya. Aryan?
Ma'am, so basically, you have about the esophagus part. So basically, when food travels through the esophagus, it expands, and when it goes, it's like done going through the esophagus, it contracts, right?
Come again, come again.
Like I didn't completely understand the esophagus, ma'am, because
See. What happened? This is the esophagus, okay? Esophagus, this is made up of, the ball is made up of the muscle. Now, if I have the muscle, if you also see your bicep, tricep, what happened? They can contract. The more you want, you can contract it. But then again, you can relax them, correct?
so ma'am, is contract expanding the muscle or wait?
Yes, yes, yes. The contraction means expansion only.
No,
They will
expand means
occupy.
contract. No, expand
Yes.
means making it smaller.
Here, the contraction means to get more space.
Okay.
Initially, they were like this, but because of contraction, they will increase the space like this. Then after some time, after a second itself, again they will come back to the original position, which is relaxation. So they have contracted themselves, they have relaxed themselves. Again contract, again relax. So because of this, what happened? They get the food get pushed downwards. So it is like, in a room we have many people. Okay, the room got full of people. So one by one we have to actually take them out. So we are not opening the complete gate, but only a part of a small corner we have left it open. So one by one only the people will be coming, right? One is coming, then we are closing again. Then we are waiting for the other person to come. So then again the second person is coming. So like this, slowly, gradually, contraction, relaxation is happening. And ultimately, whatever person are there inside, they will be out. Same way, whatever the food is there in the esophagus, because of this continuous contraction, relaxation, the food will be reached down. Clear?
Ma'am, so basically when we're eating anything, like the food pipe contracts and becomes larger for the food to go through the esophagus, and then for those minimal 5 seconds when you're not eating, it gives relaxation to the esophagus and continues in a repeated motion until you're done eating, right?
Correct, exactly.
Okay, so when we're not eating anything, like right now, if I'm not eating anything, that means my esophagus right now is in a relaxation motion.
Relax. Correct, correct. Now, if you start drinking the water, you might have seen, the Adam's apple will start expanding. It's same way. It's same actually.
So ma'am, basically, the esophagus is a muscular wall, nothing else.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
the esophagus
yes.
is a muscle.
Yes, it is a muscular wall made up of the muscles.
Yes, ma'am. And I just
That is
have
why
one
it is
last
able
doubt.
to contract and relax.
Oh, okay, okay. So ma'am, just one last doubt, ma'am. So as we know, ma'am, hydrochloric acid is a very dangerous and like a toxic acid. So how is it able to be being stored in our stomach? Like how can it store it? And
Because
not
of the mucus, they have the mucus. I think I have written somewhere here. So since see, the stomach has what? It has a layer made up of the mucus. Now this mucus is a kind of a layer which contain the enzyme in it called as mucin. Now this enzyme is actually more powerful than the hydrochloric acid. So whatever the hydrochloric acid is there, they do not make it to actually react with the other. It does not make actually to react, with the other component of the body. That is why the presence of this mucus layer makes sure that the hydrochloric acid cannot digest our own stomach. Got it? Because of this mucin. Because of this mucin enzyme, which is present in the layer called as mucus. Suppose this is a stomach, right? Here you can see a layer aligning. Can you see? That is the
yes, ma'am.
mucus layer.
That dark red layer.
Yes, this is actually the mucus, and this mucus is able to do it because they have the enzyme called as the mucin.
So, ma'am, if mucus contains an enzyme called mucin, doesn't that mean mucus itself is more like toxic or like more stronger in
No,
terms?
no, 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 no. It does not mean. It does not mean that. See, everything which is powerful does not mean is negative. Hydrochloric acid is also negative, if it is present in a limited amount. It's very important that we have the hydrochloric acid. If someone does not have the hydrochloric acid, it is very dangerous rather than not having. We should
Oh,
definitely have it in our body because the acid, the base should be there in our body. Then only neutralization will be happening. If it entirely completely absent, then problematic in our body. Okay, so we have the mucus because of which the protection is given to them.
ma'am, sorry, ma'am, just one last doubt. So, ma'am, you said that this hydrochloric acid is present in our stomach, right? So then, how doesn't it like during the entire process of digestion, how doesn't it get excreted along with the food? Like, why can't it? Why isn't the hydrochloric acid being even excreted together?
No,
Like,
here that's what they're doing. Hydrochloric acid does not mean, they are not doing anything. They are actually breaking down the food into a smaller component.
yes, ma'am.
So that is how they are passing it to the other components. See, um, how to if you are making the Maggie, right? Suppose I have added lot of water and I'm making Maggie because I like soupy Maggie, right?
Okay.
So in that case, what happened? Maybe you do not like it. We both are eating it together. So in
Okay.
that case, that Maggie part you are eating, the soup part is left out. Does it mean that soup part is going to, shout on you or going to say something to you? No, it is not. It is actually none of their business. What is going, what is not going. Their business is only to convert something into the useful substance. They do it, they pass it. Then again, the other food component is coming and then they pass it. They do not feel like, it has to go, it has not to go. But certainly, yes, if that acid level increase in our body, then acidity will be there. Because of that, they do not get much of space in the stomach and we get the acidity.
Okay, ma'am. And so, so if there is a higher content of hydrochloric acid present, then like more needed hydrochloric acid is present in our body, that can also lead to acidity, and even less amounts of hydrochloric acid can also lead to acidity, right?
Yes, yes, because less amount of the hydrochloric acid will keep on actually, sucking it. Will be requiring it. Like sometimes when you do not get the food, you become irritated, right? I did not get the food. You become irritated. Same way, if the stomach does not get the hydrochloric acid in the proper amount, they start itching themselves. They start creating problem for themselves, and because of that also, the gas problem will be there.
Oh, that's why when some people fast, they still get that acidity even though they didn't eat anything.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
when they eat too much, the hydrochloric acid won't be much enough, so that they won't be able to break down all the food, thus leading to also acidity.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay, got it. So okay, fine, got it. Okay,
Okay.
clear.
Now, moving to the next one, in the stomach, food is thoroughly mixed with the gastric juice, which is present by the gastric gland in the stomach. They contain the enzyme called as pepsin. So, this pepsin, what do? They work on the protein and they break down the protein into smaller molecule. Fine. Then going to the next one, the small intestine. It is a coil tube and it is about 7 meter in the length. It consists of three parts, which are the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. In the small intestine, the food is mixed with the bile juice and pancreatic juice. So bile juice is basically produced by the liver, which is the largest gland. Liver is the largest gland. It is produced by the liver. And then pancreatic juice is produced by the pancreas. So bile juice, what do? They will be breaking down the fats into the fatty acids and glycerol. That is called as emulsification of fat. So they will be breaking down the big molecules of the fat into smaller molecule of fat. Whereas the pancreatic juice, they will break down the starch into simple sugar and protein into the amino acid. So that is how we say that the complete process of the digestion happens in the small intestine. And also the small intestine has the finger-like projection called as villi. So this villi, which are finger-like projection, what do? They help in the absorption of the food so that the more food they get it, then more energy they will be getting to do the daily task and all. Then it goes to the next part, which is called as the large intestine. Large intestine is almost like 1.5 meter in the length. It also has a three parts, cecum, colon, and the rectum. So this large intestine, what do? They help in the absorption of the water. So in the small intestine, they have the villi that will be absorbing the food, whereas in the large intestine, they also have the villi, but what do? They absorb the water here. So that is the difference. Both the places the villis are there. In the small intestine, they will absorb the food, whereas in the large intestine, they absorb the water here. Then in the anus, the undigested food will be stored in the rectum, and then through the anus, it is last part of the alimentary canal. And whatever the waste material will be there, it will be thrown out of the in us from our body.
Ma'am,
Then he,
what?
ha.
Ma'am, like back, like I'm just seeing my textbook. Back when you mentioned pharynx, where is it located? Is it located on top of our tongue? Is it that bulb-like structure?
No. Here. Yeah. See, this is the mouth, outside one. Here, this is the mouth. This is the buccal cavity. And here, the starting part of you might have seen, like, when you open your mouth wide, a kind of the flap-like structure will be there. So after that, the pharynx will start.
So the pharynx is just on top of the esophagus.
Yes.
So, ma'am, the food first goes to the pharynx and then it enters the esophagus, right?
Pharynx is basically, for the air generally.
Okay, fine.
We have two pipes. One is for the food pipe, which is the esophagus, and pharynx is basically helping for the windpipe. Okay?
So, ma'am, so pharynx is the windpipe.
Pharynx is not the windpipe, but it's a part of the respiratory system.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and then they here one small thing is missing in this part. I'll just explain you that also separately. So when it comes to the inactive and active form, there are the three enzymes basically which I have explained you. Trypsin, sorry, spelling is wrong. Trypsin, amylase, and lipase. These are the three enzymes which are present in the pancreatic juice. So pancreatic juice, they have three enzymes, trypsin, amylase, and lipase. Okay. Now, two conditions are there. One condition is a direct condition which is almost like all the books have given, where the trypsin will be actually working on the protein. So proteins will get converted into the peptides with the help of the trypsin. Okay. And then this peptides later on will be converted into the amino acids with the help of the trypsin. Now, second thing is amylase. This amylase will be working on the starch. So whatever the starch we are consuming, the amylase will be working on them, and they break them down into the sugar called as disaccharide sugar. So they will be converting them into sugar called as disaccharide sugar. Now this disaccharide sugar which is present, they convert them into the glucose finally. Then third enzyme, which is the lipase. Lipase, what do? They work on the fats and they break down the fats into the fatty acids and glycerol. So that is how in a simple way the things are there. So three enzymes are there. These three enzyme proteins, the trypsin will be working on the protein and they convert them into the amino acid. Thus, amylase will work on the starch and they convert into the glucose. Then fats will work on the lipids will work on the fats and they convert them into fatty acid and glycerol. This is very, very simple language. The other thing is that these enzymes basically they are present in the inactive form by the name called as trypsinogen. Trypsinogen, chemotrypsinogen, and then procarboxypeptidase. These three are what? They are the inactive form. Now, if they are present in an inactive form in our body, there is no use. We have to actually make them activate. So how they will get activate? They will get activate with the help of the enzyme. Now, there are certain enzymes which makes them activate. Trypsinogen will get activated because of the enzyme called as enterokinase. The chemotrypsinogen will get activated because of trypsin. Then the procarboxypeptidase will also get active because of trypsin. And when they get activated, now they will convert themselves into trypsin, chemotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase.
Ma'am, I just have one doubt, ma'am. So these forms of trypsin,
Chymotrypsinogen.
chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase. The inactive forms of these are also present in our bodies, and this conversion is happening always in our body. It's like a loop.
Correct.
And
Every
then,
time
ma'am,
it is happening.
how is this inactive form always coming again and again? Is it like the active form after being used or something? It again converts to inactive
No,
form. It's like a loop.
no. It's like, depending upon your food. You are taking something or the other thing in your body, right? So depending on that, these enzymes, they become activated, they become inactivated, they become activated. If they do not have anything, they become inactive. But all of a sudden, when they get this enzyme, so how do we get this enzyme, trypsin, enterokinase? How do we get it? We get it from the food only.
Got it.
Okay, so that is how trypsinogen will be converted into trypsin because of enterokinase. The chemotrypsinogen will get converted into the chemotrypsin because of the trypsin, and the procarboxypeptidase will convert into the carboxypeptidase because of the trypsin. Now, the same reaction will be there. The protein will work and convert into amino acid. The starch will work and convert into glucose, and then the fat will convert into the fatty acid and glycerol. So this is the whole story of this. So Snehal, Joshika, Charvi, Arya, Arav, Aryan, Himang. Any doubt you have?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Arav, Arya?
Ma'am, let me just check, ma'am. Ma'am, after that, there is action of activated pancreatic enzymes. I'm not able to understand. Like for proteins, peptones, proteases, they are converted to dipeptide.
See, this protein, peptones and proteases, they are nothing, but they are the forms of the protein. So we are eating the dal, right? Dal, pulses, fishes, people they are taking, or any kind of the source which has the protein. So that actually are the protein, different forms of it. Now, if I say tea, I have to drink tea. Now, it is not important that I will be making the tea only with the milk, right? I can make it with the milk. Along with milk, I can add some other component also. Same way in our body, the protein is present in the form of the protein as well as a small protein, a big protein of it is also present, which are the peptones and proteases. So all the form which is present there will get converted into dipeptides. Okay. Same way the starch, which is form of the sugar, will also convert into disaccharide. Yeah, tell me, Joshika.
Fats are converted into fatty acids, and what are the other acids?
Glycerol. Glycerol. Basically, you might have heard the word glycerine. That in the winter season and all, you will be applying a kind of a liquid kind of thing. You will be applying glycerine. So glycerol is a form of the fat which is present, and you can get it from the market also. So which is actually not harmful for our body. It is useful, and it gives actually a soft layer to our skin. Okay, children. Then, so Arav, Arya, and who else was there? Aryan. Tomorrow 9 a.m. Okay, ma'am will be taking the class for the chapter fiber to fabric, and one more chapter was acid, base, and salt. Okay.
So, ma'am, it
And
will be
still,
like a 1 hour, 30-minute class because of 2 chapters.
no idea. You can just discuss with ma'am. I have informed ma'am to cover those 2 chapters, be it for 1 hour, whatever ma'am decide. We can have that. Maybe one class in the morning, one class in the afternoon. I also don't have any clarification right now. Okay. So you can ask with ma'am, and if in case you require the second class, we might keep it in the afternoon time then.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children then. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.